This is Dr. Roger Knapp, pediatrician. Let's talk about learning multiplication tables. It's very important that we memorize those. If you don't memorize the alphabet, how are you going to read? So pivotal in that math development is learning and memorizing the multiplication tables, typically third grade. And they should memorize them so well that they come off your tongue like A, B, C, D, F, G, Mary Had a Little Lamb, and 6 sevens of 42. The schools generally don't get them to memorize it, and the flashcards really doesn't get them to memorize it, nor do these computer games. It's good practice, but when you're trying to initially memorize it, there's a more effective system. And what we suggest you do is walk around the block or driving down the street, just say the multiplication table over and over and over and over. 6 sevens of 42, 6 sevens of 42, 6 sevens of 42, 200 times. So many times it rolls off your tongue. And the child can actually memorize commercials, songs, because they hear them over and over, repetition. And that's what teaches it and memorizes it. You don't have to memorize every combination of numbers. We start off, of course, in the lower numbers, 2 times 2. And if, as we get higher numbers, if you multiply 8 times 4, it's the same as 4 times 8. So when you're memorizing the 4s, you already memorized 4 times 8. So when you get higher in the numbers, in the 8s, you don't have to know 8 times 4, because all you have to do is tell the child to put the small number first. And when they ask you what's 8 times 4, he says 4 8s of 32. I learned that in the 4s. So there's actually only 2 8s you have to know by the time you get to the 8s. 8 times 8 and 8 times 9, because 8 times 7 you learn in the 7s. So there's only 1 9, 2 8s, 3 7s, 4 6s. There's very few numbers above 5 that you have to then memorize. That makes it kind of a simpler way to do it, because you don't have to memorize both directions. And if you'll just repeat it over and over and over and over, if you give the child very much time to do that multiplication, he'll count. So if you ask him what's 6 times 7, and he's counting, not multiplying. And that's why the school has timed tests, because they want you to be able to get those answers quickly. Otherwise, all they're doing is counting and not multiplying. So if you just repeat that numbers, 4 8s of 32, 4 8s of 32, 4 8s of 32, many times, it just rolls off your tongue like A, B, C, D, F, G. And all these should go 9 9s are 81, 7 8s are 56. It should roll off your tongue very quickly. Of course, anything times 10, you just put the 0 by it. You don't have to really memorize those. Not too sure why they memorize 11 and 12 multiplications. I guess maybe 12 times 12, a baker's dozen kind of thing, gross, is okay. It's 144. But that's about the only one of those I think you need to really know, because we tend to multiply by 10 and then start over. Well, that's my recommendation in memorizing multiplication tables, and do work on your child to get them to memorize it during 3rd grade. Thank you.